November 5th, 2019. Present are Alderman Smith, Alderman Witt, Alderman Dougherty, and Alderman Cochran and George are absent. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Witt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Our first thing is unfinished business, which is PL 77-19 by Alderman Dougherty to amend the City Code of Ordinances, Chapter 26, Article 3, Division 5, to remove taxicab rate restrictions. This is something we've talked about a few times in the last few months. I believe the current rate is $7.50 or $7.75. Yep, it hasn't been changed in a long time. We have the owners of the two cab companies in Olean here with us, Mike Allman of Alley Cat and Rex Bennett of STT. And we've had the current legislation as proposed is to have no rate restrictions. Other ideas have been tossed around as just raising, or tossed around as just raising the rate, but we'd like to get your gentlemen's input into the business and where you think how this ought to go. So whoever would like to go first, please.
I'll speak up. I think that it'd be like, that should be dropped because, like, you guys don't tell Reed's Food Barn what to charge for milk, or you know what I mean? So there's a control there that's like seems a little bit too much, you know what I mean? Because no other business gets told what to charge. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not real interested in raising a lot, maybe a quarter eventually here, because of the minimum wage going up. But otherwise, I'm pretty comfortable where the rates are. But I just like, if the market, calls for me to raise, I'd like to have the opportunity to raise without having to go through the rigmarole and bothering you people who got stuff to do, And it takes time, and it's a battle. I just don't think that it should be a price control. As far as restricting the prices going too high, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to hurt my business.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Rex?
For the most part, what he said, I'll point out some things. The rate has not been raised since 2011, and our costs have gone up exponentially every year since then, which you guys dealing know this, workers' comp and everything else, that hits your wallet hard.
Yep, so does the liability insurance. He's right.
And we can't recover those costs unless we raise rates. We're stuck not being able to raise rates. The long and the short of it is eventually we won't be able to do business because I, for one, didn't get into this to not make a dollar.
I agree with him on that. I've been real tight ever since I've been in it. But you can't hurt the business either.
Yeah. Nate, can I just ask?
Please.
Now, one of your biggest customers is the county.
Yes.
Does the county go along with your rates? Do
they do, but now it's getting funny. Now they sort of set a price.
Okay.
And if you want to do business with them, you got to go according to their price. They're doing that with all the medical travels.
So are they basically asking like you two to put in a bid and whoever gets?
No, basically they tell us what we can charge. Right? Isn't that how it works? I mean,
they tell us what we can.
How much we're offering you so much a mile.
The run or we don't.
Okay.
Right. You got the option.
Yeah.
They'll give you so much a mile or so much an hour. And
I was just curious how you worked it with them.
So it sounds similar to how like landlords have to deal with like HUD pricing. If you have an apartment that's a single bedroom and you're doing the Section 8 family, they're only allowed to charge $450 a month, and this is our price. You're not going to convince us because we don't have the funding where our hands are tied on their end, kind of thing. And so,
well, on the medical travel, it's a little less than in town. But the last time that got raised was Dave Carucci was mayor, and he got it raised. That's been a while.
Okay.
But we're doing enough of a volume where I can make it do.
Now, do you charge extra to go out of town?
Yes, we have a whole different set of rates for $2.50 a mile. Like if we pick up in Olean, we get 7 to the city limits, and then from there $2.50 a mile. Or 2 1/4. I'm sorry.
Now, is that posted anywhere in your cab, or do people notice in advance?
When we posted, the last time it was posted was when we had the last cab therapy. When people, they call up a price.
Okay.
I'm always getting price calls. How much will it cost? And we have a set rate, like for Buffalo, $155, So they call them, how much is Buffalo, 155 to this point? And then it's the 2 1/4 mile from there.
Does it matter how many people are in that you pick up, like say
No, I'm
there's 2,
insured,
3,
most of mine are
4?
insured to 7. So, I mean, and I only charge one rate, I don't charge per head.
Okay.
Like say I pick up 6 people in Olean, they go from one end of town to the other, it's a $7.50.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't charge extra for that. And we also don't charge to carry groceries, which they used to do. And then there was a thing, also, this is probably important too, there was a thing in the city back, Greg Carey was involved at the time, and they wanted to raise the rates. But we do $2 stops. You know, if somebody wants to stop on the way to, you know, say they want to stop at Country Fair, instead of charging them a full fare like they wanted us to do, I only charge 2. So they got a $2. If it's en route, if it's out of route, then they pay the full fare. But if they're going en route, they want to stop real quick, boom. And a lot of times too, we don't even charge them to cash checks. If they're going to the bank to cash a check, I don't charge them, so they can pay the cash fare. So that's where that sits. And I try to help them, you know, they struggle just like everybody else. You know, the customers have it rough out there, some of them. It's pretty tough.
In the late 60s, early 70s, cab fare was 75 cents.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the insurance was real cheap.
Yeah.
And the gasoline was.
Geez, that's 7.5
less than
beers,
$1 a
Bill.
gallon.
Huh?
That's 7.5 beers back then.
The gas is what.
Beers were 50 cents.
Oh,
Bottle
okay.
beer was 50 cents.
Oh, not 10 cents.
You know what hurt us really bad was 9/11. They really jacked the insurance up on over 9/11. Oh, it went like double. And we've been struggling with that ever since. But, you know, I manage.
This question is for both you guys. When you pick up in the city, if you go 1 mile or 3 miles, as long as you stay in the city limits, is it the same rate?
There's
or
2 zones.
And so
Zone 1 and
how does
zone
that
2.
work?
Zone 1, 7, zone 2 is 750.
Okay, so there's just 2 rates.
Yeah, and then I have a senior rate too, which hasn't gone up in a really long time. It should be 650 and it's only 6 1/4, but you know, they struggle, you know, so I just kept it down. I think next time we get a raise, I'm gonna jack that up to be $1 under what the regular fare is. This is where it originally started.
Rex, yours is similar,
Yes.
1 rate within the city?
Yep.
I'm sure the price control was put in many, many moons ago to prevent price gouging, so someone, you know, then one person to get charged 1 rate and one person to get charged another rate. Do you guys see that as a issue, or could that happen, or is it always just 1 rate? Or
In town, it's usually just 1 rate, senior rate. You got zone 1 and zone 2. And if they do a delivery, it's like $9. Because you gotta get out and get what they want, you know, so we charge a little. It's been that way forever.
So you do deliveries?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like somebody calls you and needs groceries picked up and delivered?
Yep.
you'll do-
Oh,
okay.
yeah, yep, deliver pizza,
And they don't
sauce.
have to be, they call you to deliver your pizza and stuff?
But I've done it. You know, what's it, AJ's and Napoli. I started Napoli's delivery service. He used to call me exclusively when I worked for Frank and Mert on the Hill, and I do all his deliveries, and then it got so much I couldn't keep up with that, the cab calls, so he started his own delivery, and I helped him get that going. That was years ago. Years and years and years ago.
any other questions from the council?
No, so to Nate's point, so like ex-wives get a separate rate instead of.
Yeah, get out.
That would depend on whether they got a good settlement on the divorce.
Yeah, right.
Free cab fare for life kind of thing, yeah.
That's what it is. I try to avoid that.
Anyone have a question in this room? Do you gentlemen have anything you want to add to this?
I just hope that the control goes away and make it easier, but I will go according to the market, you know.
Do you concur, Rex?
I do.
All right.
Can I just ask one?
Yeah.
There was one thought that maybe on an annual basis, if control is taken away, that you submit your rates to the
Yes,
city.
that is not a problem.
And then if you were asking for more raises, I guess, so still somewhat of a control, but if you were asking for more raises, you'd have to come back to the city and say, here's
We're
why.
raising it, yeah.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just-
it's
that
just
was
so it's
one
posted,
thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jamestown does that. I believe Jamestown doesn't have a control, but they just ask that the cabs post it with the city, so
Yeah.
it's a posted
Yeah,
rate.
that's, yeah.
Somebody calls for the bus schedule and they ask what cab rates are. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, before you gentlemen leave, that was one of the reasons why I put forward this one, because we were talking about it originally. Nate brought it up that we should do something, and I just said, you know what, I'm a free market guy, so
Yeah, so am I. That's what I was
and my thought is that, like, you guys might raise it a quarter, you know what I mean, to adjust for costs, but no one's going to say, hey, Uber's getting $9.50, we're going to charge $9, you know what I mean, and then because then people aren't going to, or if you're charging $7, or $7.75 and he jumps up to $11, you're going to get more business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He makes more money, but he's going to have less cabs, and you know what I mean? The market settles itself out. And I think that's lets you guys.
I have no problem with that Uber coming in, though. I don't think that they should have just blatantly walked in. I mean,
No.
I bet you can ask him. I've been doing this for years, man. I did everything. I crossed the T's, dotted the I's, everything the city wanted. I got inspected. I made sure everything was up to par and that. And then they just come waltzing in and can take over.
Yeah,
That pissed me off.
That's
Excuse my language. I don't like to swear, but that's
That's-
crazy. That's absolutely ridiculous.
that's going to be definitely a separate issue, just because you guys have to file certificates of insurance with the city. These other people are
file
just.
insurance. We have to have our driver scanned, which I have no problem with that. I think it's great, and I'm not. There ain't a problem with it. But who knows what these Uber guys are? They had problems in California when that first started. There was rapes and all kinds of bad things going on. And
Right.
They got in trouble over it, pretty
Yeah.
bad. So I just don't see how they can let them come in and not have any government on them. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I mean, they should look at the car like you do ours.
Yeah.
Say, hey, here, I want to operate in your city. Here's your permit fee. I don't mind paying that fee. I
Yeah.
do not mind giving the city their share of money. I think the city could use it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but the Uber just walk right in? Nah, that ain't cool.
Yeah, especially because they probably don't have the right insurance,
They
things like
don't.
that. That's a
They
big.
don't have any-
That's a big reason
I'm
to keep
really
some of the
covered
governance on
good.
there.
I made sure of it. In case of a bad accident or something, I got over, I got $1 million combined.
Right.
So, but Uber don't have nothing like that. And they get regular car insurance, right? And then I think the Uber Corporation will slip you a little extra to bring you up to the state minimum. And that's like 25,000, 50,000. We're up over 100,000,
Right.
So
Okay.
that's just something, but, we can talk about that another time,
If this leaves committee tonight, we could discuss the posting before resolution. Is that fair, Bill?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Anybody want to add anything?
I'm just glad you both came.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you both for
Appreciate it.
coming.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Based on the two different cab companies, I'd like to make a motion to refer to the city attorney for resolution or referral or
Yeah, it would require publication and all of that, so it won't be next week, it'll be a couple weeks out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're making a motion.
Yep.
All right. A second.
I'll figure it out.
All in favor? Three of us. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. You gentlemen are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you like, but if you want to, you're welcome to leave too. It's up to you. All right. New referrals for consideration. Discussion. Unified court system, court cleaning, and minor repairs agreement. Is who put this on there?
It's on for my signature. We brought this to you. I think we bring this to you whenever a new contract comes due, and we're here for a new contract. Actually, we've been without a contract since April. The court moves very slow with things, but just as a reminder, the percentage of the building that the court uses is about 17% of the building. We don't have a lot to say in the rates that are set, but they do take care of
Sounds familiar.
the building, cleaning, janitorial supplies, cleaning. What else, Bob? What am I missing here?
They pay for our, portion of our maintenance budget, and then they plan for any capital projects that might be on the horizon. There's a couple things this year that they've already budgeted for, just advance notice.
So we just have to approve a new contract.
Basically, yes. Yeah, this is, so,
Do you have a problem with that, Bob? Do you have a problem?
Yeah.
Bill, you're okay with it all?
yeah, we're we don't have a lot of issues with the court. The only one that we usually get into with them is if they want some repairs in the building or different, like they revamped the court clerk's offices and that. they're very slow in paying us. They want us to front the money. This past time, we said, we don't have the money, you're going to have to come up with it. So it was worked out that payment came a lot quicker. So we try to keep that in there if they want something like that. But this contract is general, the 17% of the building that they use. That takes in heat, light, everything, and then maintenance. They pay part of, they pay for custodial staff to clean it. They pay for supplies to clean it, and all of that. Now, this is separate from the security contract that we have. So this is just for the office space and custodial and repairs and things like that. So, yes, the numbers have been gone over by Bob's staff, and we're good to go. I just need your permission to get it into the report system.
Is it something we have to vote on, Bill, or?
Yes, you'll
Okay, I'll
need
make a
it.
motion.
Well, there's no
It'll be
PL
a-
on the thing.
So
We'll need
just
to-
It'll be a
move it on.
resolution next week.
We'll do
Okay.
a resolution next week.
So,
I'm
all
cool with
right.
that.
Okay.
Any discussion on that, or everybody good? Okay. Approval of committee reports, we do have this, right, Tiffany? Okay, I make a motion to approve committee reports, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Dougherty, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Committee reports are approved. Any comment before we adjourn? I make a
Still
motion.
time to vote.
Yep, get out and vote. I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Witt. All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.
Hey.
All right.